Hey y'all, here we are. Finally, we're back. Hope everybody is doing well. Please drop us a comment and let us know if you're there and watching. We've missed everybody.
We have. It's been another experience for us.
Yeah, it's been an interesting, I don't know, I guess about a month now or so. But yeah, we just we went on a little road trip, and Nick's here. Hello, Nick. How are you? Hey, Thomas.
Hello.
And Thomas, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Thomas actually has got his Alaska trip. He's doing the train booked for August. Thomas, I think, is that still on? And I know, Nick, when are you leaving for your trip? It's soon, isn't it? Hey, Katie, how are you? Hey, Ryan. So, yeah, I mean, we left here. I don't even remember what day we left, but we went to Charleston. Oh, hey, Darian, how are you? Hey, Scorpio Sue, how are you? Hey, Jamie, Amtrak Travel. Hey,
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining. We've got quite a few train buffs on here, Jamie. I know that Thomas is a train buff. I know that Nick is also a big train guy. Hey, Paul. Gosh, Paul, what time is it over there? What, 1? Is that right? I think it's 1. Yeah, Nick, I know. No, New York. Leaving August 6th. That's the day before my birthday, Nick. And you'll have to send me a message and remind me when you're going to be in Nashville, because I want to make sure we coordinate that if we can.
Yeah.
So, and I'm curious if anybody else has already done any road trips. I know, obviously, the Finleys are on their trip, and I know that Mark and Jocelyn did their 1:05 a.m. Wow, nice.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Well, I mean, at least you have the pubs open there now, though.
Yeah.
Paul. That's awesome. And I think Ireland opens up. I think I saw August 10th. Their pubs open up. So yeah. So yeah, definitely thanks for joining us, popping in. But yeah, we Tuesday night, August 18th in Nashville. Okay, we should be able to do that.
We'll have to.
Thomas is getting nervous. Stamina not where I want it. Well, I don't know what all you have planned, Thomas, or how that what you're. I don't know how all you're traveling and what all you're going to do and see. So, but just try and maybe work on it a little bit at a time. I know you've got some things that maybe keep that not where you want it to be. But anyway, yeah, I'm curious to know who else has already been traveling so far. But for us, we left
June 6th. Was it June 6th?
Sometime in June, and we went to Charleston, and everything. It was really crazy. The market was closed, which I've been to Charleston before. Tracy hasn't. And so, on the way down, obviously, the whole time, we obviously have our mask, we have our hand sanitizer, we have Lysol, we have Clorox wipes, we have everything.
Everything you can imagine.
Oh, on annual leave. There you go. Are you enjoying the pubs being open now, Paul? Darian says he's gone to Savannah, Daytona, Columbia. Is that Columbia, South Carolina? Darian? Ocala and Jacksonville. Yeah, in Jacksonville kind of getting bad again. Jamie was supposed to travel to Ireland in June. Yeah, Ireland's one of our favorite countries. We actually were there in February and just made it to Scotland when we had to come home. We've also, Jamie, got another one from San Francisco in here. If Katie's still on here, she's in San Francisco. Hey, Megan, how is Lexington? Not been, Paul, you haven't been to the pub yet? What?
What is going on?
Columbia, South Carolina. Okay. Yep. So our experience in Charleston, we got there pretty much as things were just opening up from COVID, but then it was the week after all the protests.
Yeah.
And so it was it was really strange. The market was still closed because of COVID. We did do a horse and buggy tour because I think that's just a quintessential Charleston thing. And what was interesting there was on the horse and buggy tour is they only did one family per row, and they actually had like the acrylic or plastic sheets,
the plexiglass,
between
the seats.
And then nobody sat in the front seat by the driver. So that was okay. But what was weird was because of the protests, partly COVID, partly protests, a lot of the shops were boarded up. Some were open, but were boarded because of there had been, some issues there with rioting and looting and that sort of thing. Yep. So it was kind of hard to tell like who was closed because of protests and who was closed because of COVID. And then some things, what did we get there on a Sunday or Monday? I think a Monday.
I think we got there on a Monday.
And left on a Friday, I think is how it worked. And so the first part of the week, there was less open, but as it got closer to the weekend, more things were open. And I guess just based on, the fact that there's just not that much business.
We didn't really eat out a whole lot. We did a couple times, but
it was weird.
It was weird. I mean, they did good as far as seating people, every other table, and they would have, hand sanitizer just sitting out, where you could use it. But it was just weird. It was weird.
Yeah, it was odd. It was definitely odd. I mean, social distancing was working, but it was still it was just very odd. And there were some things that were still not open, some museums and attractions. Some were with like limited capacity. But it definitely wasn't the full on Charleston experience that I had hoped Trace would get,
I still enjoyed it. I loved it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful city, obviously. And so we did go cruise through some of the beaches, and we were kind of up in the air, like, was that still from COVID or was it because of the riots? So then we went and we actually got my sister who lives in South Georgia. So we made kind of a weird route. We went from Indiana to Charleston, and then we went down to pick up my sister in Georgia and then back up to the Outer Banks. Yeah. With like overnight stops in between. And we got to the Outer Banks, and of course we were staying, in a house on the beach. And so there was, we weren't having to see anybody or do anything. And we obviously sanitized everything when we got there. But part of the Outer Banks, for those of you that have been there, you can, where the horses are, you can drive on the beach if you have a 4-wheel drive. And we did that. And y'all, I mean, we saw so many groups of 30, 40, 50 people just piled on top of each other.
Having a good time.
Just no
social distancing.
None. No. I mean, there's just, it was just everywhere. Of course, we were in the Jeep and we were just riding around looking at the horses. We did stop when we found an empty spot on the beach and just we had like a picnic lunch, but we really didn't hang out on that beach just because it was so crowded. And stores, I had to make a early morning Walmart run because our coffee pot broke, and nobody in the stores were wearing masks. Mm-hmm. They were limiting how many people could go into Walmart, and they had like the one-way markers on the aisles and whatever, but
people don't follow that.
People don't follow it. And so,
and the worst place is actually if you are traveling via car or RV or however it is you're traveling domestically, the gas stations are horrible.
Yeah.
People, I guess they figure they're just going to go in for a quick minute and come back out, but yeah, they were horrible. Absolutely no social distancing there. And people were letting their kids just run around, and, it was just
grabbing things and putting them back. And,
Yeah.
So, and hold on, we've got a few questions here. So I want to stop there for a second and let's see.
Jamie lives in Missouri, not San
Okay.
Francisco.
Okay. All right. Well, we're in Indiana. Scorpio Sue is actively social distancing. Lexington is good. Mandatory masks. I know, Megan. It's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Katie's saying hi to Darian. Nick is talking about New York. So Nick's got a big road trip planned, and he's in Minnesota. And they came out today. There's a calculation, 10% of something. I don't know. I'm sure he can explain it. Where the tri-state area put Minnesota on the do not travel list, or they have to quarantine, and he obviously is not going to stay for 14 days. So he's still able to visit Albany family, but he can't stay more than 24 hours, can't stay in hotels. Yeah, so his dad's going to see cousins they haven't seen in 50 years. Well, his dad hasn't seen in 50 years. I don't think Nick's that old. And stop for fuel and visit the family. Yeah. I mean, it's tough, but Nick, if that number, because I saw your post where there was some delay in reporting, maybe if those numbers go down, maybe you'll be off the list and still be able to do that. Jamie at Amtrak Travel says, never travel much to the East Coast. Love to visit. East Coast is fun.
Yeah, it is
definitely fun. Dee Dee Peckers for chicken wings. Oh my goodness.
No, but I would have liked to. But
yeah, go show them. Oh, I thought you were going to show them what you have in the fridge.
Oh, well, I was getting ready to say,
okay.
As some of you saw, because I know she posted a video on the Facebook page, that I had for the first time boiled peanuts, and now they are like my favorite. So, as you know, we ended up in Nashville. We skipped Savannah, ended up in Nashville.
We haven't gotten there yet, but yeah.
Ended up in Nashville, and we were there for some appointments and whatever. And yeah, you're still in the South, so you can still get. Hold on.
Yeah. She did like major research, which is really not like her. I'm usually the researcher to figure this out. But anyway, she loved the peanuts, but she's also a big chicken wing fan, Darian. So I wish we had known that before. I think they're back there. So yeah, we did not do that. We did, we went to a place called Eli's Table.
Try the chicken wings.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all can see it because I opened it the other day, but we actually got these in Nashville. I don't know if you can see those in Nashville at Publix.
In the produce section.
In the produce section. And they have spicy, and then they have just, regular. I got the regular because, well, I had a little procedure that some of you know about. But anyway, so I kind of had to take it easy, but I wasn't going to pass them up.
Yeah. And you just stick them in the microwave. And they're actually good because they don't, how some of them get super soggy, and we don't like them super soggy. So that was good.
Yeah, as long as you keep them in the fridge. I mean, like these are good till August of 2021. So you just put whatever you want in the bowl, put them in the microwave for about a minute, and
so yeah. But chicken wings we'll have to check out, Darian. And I'm sorry we didn't get to see you. As you know, we had a change of plans. So let me keep going here. Dropping my father so I can just hit the road early, get a jump start. Should be sweet. Okay. So Nick, I'll try and make sure we connect on that.
Yep.
Wow. His local Walmart doesn't limit people inside and no one-way aisles. But, I saw something today, and I don't know if it's just here in Indy or if it's all over, that Walmart and Kroger's are both finally going to mandate masks.
Are they? Mm-hmm. Well, they should, just in my opinion.
One-way aisles in Illinois, Thomas says. Masks are compulsory in the UK. Yeah, they could have brought it to now instead. Yeah. So are cases rising again over there, Paul? I know y'all just kind of got your freedom back, so I'm curious to see what that's done to your numbers. Megan, did we end up going to Asheville? We did not. I'm going to get to that, but we did not. Scorpio Sue, my son starts school in less than a month and still not sure if it's 100% remote or 50-50. So I don't know how old your son is, Sue. We have a daughter in college, and she goes to IUPUI here in Indy, and they came out originally with a modified schedule of they don't have a fall break, but when they go home for Thanksgiving, they basically don't go back until the next semester. And I think no spring break, supposedly in the spring
No
semester.
fall or spring break.
Yeah, it's to try and keep kids from leaving campus and coming back. I don't know that that's really going to work. And they said that if kids were not comfortable or they were high risk or had family members that were high risk, they would work with them. So I think that she is going to try and do all online. Indiana is actually in better shape than, unfortunately, a lot of states right now. But I just have a feeling once school starts back, that's not going to be the case, because not many people are wearing masks or social distancing. And, it's unfortunate that it's turned into a political battle, but it has, and we're not going to discuss that. But I just think, I think we need to respect each other and whether we think we can get it or not, just, there's other people out there who are vulnerable, and that's just kind of our take on it and the right thing to do. So
let's get to the fun stuff.
Yeah. All right. So boiled peanuts and wings.
Yum,
Yeah.
yum.
We're going to have to check them out next time we go. Do you think I would have? So, Nick, I just lost it.
Yeah, it jumped. Oh, there we go.
So what's interesting is that we found those at Publix in Tennessee.
Yep.
Let's see, if you're coming down, what interstate will you be coming down? I can tell you where to find some, for sure, Nick. So let's just message, and yes, you can find some. Derek, hey,
Hello.
Mr. Means to Travel. How are you? How is Chicago? Do we have anything else planned this summer? Yes, and we will talk about that in just a minute, Sue. Hey, Eric, how are you? Where are you? Are you back in Baton Rouge, or are you still on the road? Nick is saying nationwide for mask and Walmart. Okay. Paul said Dairy Queen. So, okay, Paul, I have a question for you, or anybody else. And I think it's this way in the UK. I know it is in Ireland. When you get the soft serve cones and you put the chocolate stick in it, and there's a word for that chocolate stick, and I don't know what it is.
Somebody told us not too long ago.
Flake, is that right?
A flake.
Flake. Yeah. Is that popular in the UK? And are there Dairy Queens in the UK? I don't know if there are or not.
I don't know.
I know you have soft serve, but
yes, Dairy Queen is very popular right now with everybody.
Yeah, we've tried to be good. We probably had one too many cotton candy dip cones.
Traveling,
yeah. So trying to be good. Wi-Fi has been a little blippy, so hopefully it's okay here. Derek's cooking chicken, but wanted to say hi, so thanks for stopping by.
Yum.
And we just did a big jump.
Yep. Distance has reduced from 2 meters to 1 meter.
Where?
Right here.
Oh. So it could be the reason for mask. Well, that's right, possible. Masks are mandatory in public places in Louisiana. People are fighting it. Same here, Eric. Laura is saying that Minnesota is supposed to announce about school and masks. It could be mandatory to wear a mask anywhere in public. Megan, masks should not be political. I agree. Liz, how are you?
Liz.
Laura said, yeah, so she really liked the boiled peanuts, roasted chestnuts in Florence, and they were really gross. We didn't even see any of those in Florence, but interesting.
No, but we did see them in Paris.
Paris, we sure did.
By the Tuileries
but we didn't.
Gardens.
But we didn't try any.
Yeah, we didn't try any. But oh my gosh, the boiled peanuts! But I don't like them soggy. They have to be a little al dente.
Al dente. All right, everybody's saying hi. Michelle, hello, Michelle. Everybody's saying hi to Liz and Derek. Eric's in Louisiana. 99 Flake. That's what it's called. The chocolate. So yeah. Which is interesting. That's not something we do here. The flake is not something we do here, Paul. So that's kind of,
but I love it.
Interesting. Cadbury flake. Bridget. Oh, Bridget, are you in Ireland? Are you Irish? I'm thinking maybe. 81 and 40 between here. Okay, Nick, yeah. I'll get you. I'll find you somewhere to get peanuts. No Dairy Queens in the UK, as far as I know. Yeah, I don't remember seeing any, but obviously we haven't been all over. Oh, Mark, hello, hey. Finley's.
Hello.
Yeah, they did. They're in Tennessee.
Okay.
They're in Gatlinburg in the mountains. So they crossed the Sky Bridge, and they also went to Klingman's Dome.
Yep.
Today. So I know that was
yep,
that's quite a hike up there. We've done that before, Mark, but it is the views are beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's see. Liz is saying she saw our note that we consider the 14-day quarantine in the UK and Ireland. We did too, and we'll see about fall. Yeah, so I think it was Nick that posted something about, people going to Ireland and then refusing to do the 14-day quarantine.
Yeah.
And I had said, we had talked about going to either the UK or Ireland, doing the 14-day quarantine, and then hopefully being able to travel around. But from what Paul's saying, it sounds like maybe they're getting ready to
lock us down again.
Lock down, or definitely get ready for the second wave in the UK. And I'm sure Ireland's the same way. We definitely thought about it. I mean, they're doing a lot better than we are in a lot of places. And obviously we miss it, but I think we've made a decision that we're gonna end up staying home and doing a few things. So we'll talk about that. No statewide mandate for mask in Minnesota, says Nick. Bridget isn't. I figured you were Irish with your name. So what part of Ireland are you from? And you live in California. Cool. What part of California, and how are things there? I know that parts of it were really bad, so I'm just curious what part you're in. Thomas said he'd rather be going to the UK, but not practical. Yeah. I mean, it just depends. For us, we love both the UK and Ireland. I would say for the 14-day quarantine, if we could quarantine somewhere on the Ring of Kerry, to have at least the beautiful landscape and maybe be able to take the walks and whatever.
We've seen the museums and done all the touristy stuff. So it's just the landscape that we could just ride around and look at that for days.
Well, but to quarantine, just to be able to walk, around wherever we're staying and all that, and have, just have groceries delivered. But I think that's probably out. So what do you think of the YouTubers doing the van thing? I think that we'll see more of America. So it's funny you mentioned that, as most of you probably know, we're doing our RV series because we think we're doing a series on RVing. I think we've got just a few more videos on that, and then a couple just on road trips in general. I think it's a great idea. And we owned an RV for 3-4 years. And it was a great way to travel. It's obviously, you can obviously social distance pretty well. And we really seriously went back and forth and many, many times. And it's still in my head, the idea of buying an RV right now. But, at the end of the day, I think national parks could shut down. I think there's just a lot of things. Well, and one of the reasons we decided to stay home, so let's just get into that. there's a multitude of reasons, but I have been told that I need a knee replacement. And so we are probably going to look at doing that maybe this year while we're home and not able to travel. So one of the if you're going to go out west in an RV, you obviously want to be able to do the hikes and do, a lot of those things to be able to see the places. And my knee is not in the shape to do that right now. And until I have the replacement, which I've got to go through the whole process to get there. I just don't think we could see all the things we wanted to see. And we've done some of that already. So honestly, I think it's great. I think that it's a great idea. And those guys have figured out a way, bless you, have figured out a way to keep traveling and renovating and doing all of those things. And it definitely was something we considered, but I think that for right now, we're going to kind of stay away from that.
Well, there's a lot of things that, we can't really travel right now, and I don't think we should travel right now.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of things that we just need to do that we've been putting off. And
well, there are, and that's the thing. Even when you're whether you're on a road trip in a car or in staying at relatives or whatever, or in an RV, I mean, you still have to get out and get gas. You still, there's all those things you still have to do. And, we're playing it super cautious right now. Trace has a grandmother who it will be how old in December?
99.
99.
I know we've talked about it.
So, we have people around us who are more high risk, and we just don't want to do anything to create challenges for them. So for us, what we've made the decision to do is we as many of you know, I'm from Nashville. Trace lived there for
22 years.
And so we kept a lot of our doctors and other relationships in Nashville. So we've got a couple of trips we've got to make down there. We actually stay with friends. We're very fortunate that we have friends who still let us come and kind of crash at their house for a while. And a couple of them have a pool, so that makes it nice. We can just kind of chill out and do what we need to do and then just hang out. Other than that, we're going to do day trips, and not spend the night anywhere, and, just mainly outdoor stuff. So I think we'll probably go up to Indiana Dunes one day. I think there's like a lighthouse drive you can do up there on the South Lake Shore. There's the covered bridges. There's, I don't even remember. There's quite a few things that we'll go do. Southern Indiana in the fall is supposed to be beautiful. I haven't seen it, but so, there's just things that we're going to do. And, one of the things, we have a blog that we have not done a good job at all of keeping up. No. So we've got close to 200 posts that are at some level of being completed and written. And so we are actually working. I don't know if any of you guys watched The Delightful Travelers. So Trevor and Anna, were stuck in the Philippines. They're from Nova Scotia. They're back in Nova Scotia now. But Trevor does web work, so we're actually going to redo our website, get that updated, get the 200 plus blog posts finished and scheduled just so we can start uploading 3 or 4 of those a week. And then we've still got a ton of videos.
We do. We still have videos from...
we still have the whole week of London from last fall that we didn't release because as things changed, we kind of shifted gears. So we've got London, then we've got more of Ireland. We've got some local stuff. I mean, we've just got a ton of stuff to get done. So, so our plans are to stay home, work on some things like that, get those videos done and out. So we'll still be producing content, even though we'll be home, and, hopefully get my knee worked on so we can get that done. So,
better look at some of these comments.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So Nick P says he loves warm muffin and ice cream at Supermax in Ireland. I miss that food so much. We never went to Supermax, so we're gonna have to check that out.
We just did a big
We
jump.
did a huge
I knew we were going to do
jump,
that.
guys. There we go. Okay. Overlooking Gatlinburg, waiting for the sun to go down so we can see the lights of the city. It's pretty cool. And did you guys, Mark? And I think I don't know if it's open or not. What do they call it there? It's like the Space Needle, but it's not the Space Needle, obviously, in like Seattle. But there's a tower there in Gatlinburg. I wondered if you guys went up on that. Oh, Paul says he'll be staying in Wales in 2 weeks, staying in a static caravan, so an RV that's parked somewhere. That's pretty cool. And Wales is definitely on our list, Paul. We have not been to Wales at all, and then Scotland we got there and had to come home. So we could really spend months just traveling around all of the UK. Yeah. Okay, Katie, sorry we missed you. You're probably already gone, but thank you for popping in.
Thank you.
Do you want to do some home DIY collab videos? Solid, sure. Let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it. Yeah, one of the things we do hopefully have planned for maybe sometime in August is to meet up with Liz and Derek somewhere. So that would be fun. I've known a lot of people with new knees and it changed their lives. Yeah. I
keep telling her.
Yeah, it's been going on a while, and I've had I keep going in, and I have like, what's it called? Degenerative cartilage or whatever. And so they kind of go in and like suck out all the little fragments or whatever. And that usually lasts a couple of years. But this last time I had it done, he told Trace that
there was nothing else he could do.
Yeah. So it's time, unfortunately. So just working on that, which also means that I need to be, we're trying to start walking a lot more here, trying to strengthen my legs up before the surgery. So that's kind of what we're doing. So yeah, I think it is a good year for that, Eliz. I think it'll be easy to.
I thought so too, Eliz.
Yeah. And Nick said got both of hers done. A lot of physical therapy worth it. Yeah. So one of my best friends growing up, we've been friends since we were 3, actually just had hers done last week. She had one done, and she they had a hard time getting her pain under control for about the first 2 days, but she's so happy she got it done. And
yeah, but I don't know. You have a pretty high pain tolerance.
I'm sure she does too. So we'll see. Everybody reacts differently. Yeah. But she's happy she got it done. So I think it'll be good. Don't put off knee surgery. Get it done. Yeah, I know.
Thank you. Keep telling her. Keep telling her, guys.
Oh my gosh. So that is so funny. So Laura says, I had a neighbor who had both knees replaced. She was 93. She said, I have to. It's slowing me down. Who does that remind you of?
Yeah, that definitely reminds me of my grandma.
Her grandma, who's going to be 99 in December, and I know we talk about her all the time, but it's just so funny. She lives by herself. She still drives, and everywhere she goes, she like races. She has to walk really fast because she doesn't want to be that old lady who's keeping everybody down. We can't keep up with her.
Yeah, she'll see somebody and she go, "Oh, I feel sorry for that old lady."
Yeah, and they're like 30 years younger than her. Yeah. So that's funny, Laura. That does definitely remind us of Gigi. So, Eric says, I want to take a weekend flight somewhere. Yeah. You just never know what's open and who's shutting down. I know, Eric, it's, and we looked at that, and I don't know. I just, I would love to go somewhere. I keep talking to Trace. Like I said, the RV thing keeps coming up, but I just think for us, it's not the right thing to do right now. And things are closing down right and left. Megan says your grandma sounds like a boss.
Oh, she is.
She's definitely, it's definitely goals. And she's that 100% all there, all in.
Yeah.
Stays up on current events.
Physically, mentally, everything.
Yeah.
And she says that the key to her mental status is because she works crossword puzzles every night.
She does.
She does.
She really does. Yep.
She said that's what
keeps her mind sharp. Yep.
Yep.
Nick says biggest thing for me, hand sanitizer. Shrink size hands don't work well with gloves. That's right. I forget, how tall are you, Nick? I know you and Mark are both really tall. Yeah, hand sanitizer. And Allison, who I don't think is on here, posted something on the Facebook group and was talking about her road trip. We did end up using way, way, way more hand sanitizer than we expected. I mean, thank goodness, we had some.
Yeah.
And of course, you guys know, because we did that one live stream when we were at the Outer Banks.
Oh yeah.
And I had that big tube of
That
stuff,
big jug of
hand sanitizer I found at Walmart. So, and things do seem to be coming. I mean, hand sanitizer seems to be everywhere now. Masks are everywhere. We found a lot of Lysol spray, and some like Lysol and Clorox wipes. So everything seems to be in stock. So that's the good news. Thomas says Delightful Travelers, one of their favorites. Yeah, we really like them as well, Thomas. They're really, really great people. Jamie says excited to see new videos. I know we haven't put any out. We've actually got 4 queued up. So I think probably Saturday the first one will come out, and we're going to try and get those rolled out pretty quick. Wow. Nick says his great aunt will be 100 in December in Texas. It's awesome.
Yep.
DIY projects. We're going to spend several weeks at Derek's parents and doing some projects. There you go. Well, hey, why not? 6'9". Wow.
Wow.
That's tall, Nick. That's tall.
I'm 5 foot.
Yeah. Yeah, you and Liz are in a close race there, I think. And Liz says her grandfather did crosswords every day, and he was sharp until the very end in his 90s.
Yep.
You still haven't found wipes at the stores?
Wow.
So, yeah, of course, I don't know Chicago. If you're coming down here anytime soon, you'll probably have more luck. But we found them at both Kroger's, Target, at Target, Kroger's, and Walmart.
Yeah.
150 ounces of hand sanitizer. Oh my gosh.
5 bottles.
SPF 50. Yeah, that should last you a pretty good while there, Nick. Definitely should last you a while. So yeah, I mean, for us, anyway, Outer Banks, we took my sister back to Southern Georgia just to get back on what we did on our trip and kind of what we saw. We had to drop my sister off. We ended up staying over an extra day to help her with some things. And then kind of had some family stuff come up. But in the meantime, we started looking at Savannah. Savannah. And they were having a kind of a resurgence, a pretty strong resurgence. And we've never been. So I know there's a lot of outdoor stuff, but just like Charleston, I mean, the food and stuff like that, museums. I mean, all of those are things we wanted to do, and we just weren't sure it was all going to be open. So we made the decision to not go and just put that trip off till a time when we can actually enjoy it. And we'll probably redo Charleston and Savannah on another trip when everything's safe, just so we can enjoy more of Charleston.
Yeah.
So we ended up going to Nashville. We talked about Asheville. We did not do that. We ended up just leaving from my sister's and going to Nashville and hanging out with our friends for like 10 days. Just kind of regrouping and figuring out what we wanted to do, making a final decision on the RV, making a final decision on any more travel. And then we both had our, annual physicals, blood work, and all that to do. And then Tracey had to have a colonoscopy.
Yeah, I had to have a colonoscopy.
So, which was also weird because I just basically dropped her off at the door, and then they said I had to be within 15 minutes of it, and then they just called me and told me everything.
Yeah.
So that was, and I get it. I know, but that was very strange.
It was very strange. being in the surgery center and just sitting there by yourself. I mean, it was just
even
was
though
odd.
even though it was a minor routine
Yeah.
procedure, I can't imagine. And that's the one thing that kind of freaks me out about the knee replacement is if we're still in that place at the end of this year, to like not be able to have visitors and not have anybody with you before you go in. I don't know. That's kind of freaky. Bless you.
Excuse me.
So we did not. So Megan says, why did we end up? So Megan, Asheville, I don't know what the numbers are there. We just had some stuff come up, and then when we saw Savannah, we just said forget it, and just felt like it just probably wasn't our time to be out on the road. We'd already done Charleston and the Outer Banks. I don't know what your plans are in Asheville, but again, I think wear your mask, have your hand sanitizer, Lysol, depending on where you're staying or what you're doing. I mean, like we stayed in a hotel in Charleston, and we of course Lysol'd everything, and then we did not have room service come or housekeeping come in the whole time, because we just felt like once we were in there and knew we had cleaned everything and sanitized, not that it wasn't clean, but we had disinfected everything. Then we just kept, other people out, and that made us feel better. I don't know if it really made a difference or not.
Yeah, well, I think they actually had a thing though that they weren't going to do housekeeping
every day
unless you asked for it. So,
and we did have, you guys, we showed that when we were in the Outer Banks, we did have a clean key. So we used that for like the elevator buttons and things like that.
It came in handy.
It did.
It really did. You don't realize how many buttons you push and doors you pull, and it came in handy.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing, like at some of the gas stations and stuff, we use the I think we talked about this contactless payment on our credit cards. But what was so stupid at half of them is you use the contactless thing and then you have to sign for it. And I'm like, well, and you have to use the pin. So that was kind of a letdown. But anyway, let's see. We had a big jump.
Target in Chicago
still hasn't figured out their inventory. We're going to Indiana on Friday. Yeah, definitely look here. They're all talking about bigger truck stops.
You'll probably find it at the truck stops and the gas stations, but you'll pay for it.
Yeah.
I'll
be visiting a friend for lunch in LaPorte on my way east. Should be great. Where's LaPorte? Is that northern? I think so. That's northern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad you get to see some friends along the way as well, Nick. Yeah. So trade stores. So Paul, they do so here. I mean, like Home Depot, Lowe's, some of those kinds of things do as well. And that's the thing, Liz, you may just have to go into them. Even some of the office supply stores carry them, but you can't order them online. You have to go in to get them.
Yeah.
And yes, getting in early. I think the only reason that I got that hand sanitizer I got at Walmart in the Outer Banks is because it was early in the morning. I think they get, a couple of packages a day, in their inventory. And if you don't get there early, you don't get them.
Oh yeah. She was more excited about the hand sanitizer than she was the coffee pot.
Yeah. Yeah, I was. US is so primitive in terms of credit cards. I know, Thomas, we really are. We really, really are. And Nick says it's a Northwestern. Yeah. Megan says all of our dining reservations. Yeah, I think, Megan, you'll be fine. Just make sure you have masks. Make sure you have hand sanitizer for when you're, just keep it with you all the time, because you will end up using it way more. Although we did see it everywhere, like pretty much every restaurant, every store, hotel, they all had hand sanitizer out for you to use. So we obviously use theirs when we could, because save hours for But like Tracy said earlier, the truck stops and gas stations were kind of the worst about no social distancing.
Yep.
And
they'll have probably hand sanitizer and all that, but you're going to pay
well,
a lot more.
No, Megan's not looking for that. I'm just talking about safety.
Oh, okay.
Being safe
I got
on the
you.
road. That was a Liz that was looking for it.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, but yes, Megan, I think you'll be fine. And Asheville is that's a great area, a beautiful area. So if you're doing everything outside, I think that's fine. Laura says doing a road trip from central Minnesota to Door County, which I think that's Wisconsin, isn't it? Or is that northern Minnesota? I think it's Wisconsin, though. I've heard of Door County. I just don't know what's there, Laura. So enlighten me. Yeah, and the Liz is telling Nick that makes total sense. So yeah, I mean, for us guys, it just we definitely saw people even in Nashville. Nashville's having a big resurgence. And they've mandated masks, but people aren't wearing them. I mean, I know people are getting in fights with store employees and all kinds of things. And I just think that, if it's a requirement, it's a requirement. And
just do it. None of us like to wear them.
None of us do.
Just do it.
And I know everybody has their own belief, but I can tell you that I would much rather put on a mask for the 10 minutes I'm in a gas station than be on a ventilator for 10 days. So that's the way I look at it.
Yep.
And I mean, they're not super comfortable, and it's hot. I mean, it is hot, particularly in the South right now. So you just have this kind of ring of sweat. My glasses would fog up, but
it's all red.
You got to do what you got to do. And I think, I think we can all take all the precautions we want. I think it's just, you've got to kind of determine your own personal, risk tolerance. But for us, we just felt like the things we wanted to do and the places we wanted to go, it just wasn't going to be worth the risk, even with mask and hand sanitizer. There was too many people not following that.
Yeah.
That we just didn't want to risk it. So, Door County is Wisconsin. That's what I thought. It's like really far north, I believe. Nick is saying we lag so far behind in car technology. Yeah, it never got popular like it is now. I agree. Yeah. Mask mandate every. I'll be assuming mask mandate every. I think he means everywhere. I'm not a big fan of wearing them, but I will be wearing it everywhere. Yeah, Nick. Yeah. I think that's just the thing to do. And Megan, you're right. We do have a lot of great sign-up bonuses and rewards. Absolutely. And we definitely are big fans of miles and points. Paul saying use contactless all the time with bank cards. It's up to 45-pound limit per time it's used, saved on handling handing cash money. Yeah. But there's a $45 limit each time you use a bank card. Is 45-pound limit. Is that what you're saying, Paul? Because we have limits like on our debit cards, but they're significantly higher than that. I mean, I think they're like $2,500 or something. So yeah, and handling cash. Yeah, so cash is definitely germy to begin with.
And now the coins shortage.
And now there's the coins shortage. And there's all kinds of theories on that, but be aware of that as well. I mean, if you can, we rarely pay with cash anyway, so it doesn't really affect us. But if you're somebody who uses cash, do know that we have seen signs, and I know Kroger's has now done something, but we did see signs on the road that said card only or won't
have
give
exact change.
So Laura's saying they need to mandate masks nationwide for a month. If nothing gets better, one side gets to say. I told you so, or the other side does. Either way, it could make a big difference for an inconvenience. Yeah, Laura, I think if we had a cohesive strategy all the way around, that would make a big difference. And I think that's part of the challenge right now is, some counties are mandating masks, some aren't.
Yeah.
Some governors are saying no, but the counties, the mayors are saying yes. And yeah. And he did mean everywhere. 45 pounds is 56.62. Oh, just using contactless, there's a 45-pound limit. If not, okay. So here, and that's I think what we ran into, Paul. Here, I don't know what the limit is, and I think it may vary depending on the stores, but like at gas stations and stuff, if we got gas, so it would be, probably over $40, and we'd probably get, Coke or snack or whatever. It would take the contactless, but then I'd have to sign, not put a pin in, but sign.
Yeah.
Because remember, we don't do pins on everything. So that's probably the same thing. So I guess and I just never knew there was a limit. I didn't know that that's why the limit was there, but that may be what it is.
Okay.
Laura says, I know it's a controversial subject. Yeah. I mean, it is, and it's unfortunate that it's come down to that. It should not be political. It should not be, I think that the countries that have all followed one set of rules have typically done better than we have. And, it makes us sad sometimes to see what we're doing as a country. And, we kind of look stupid, I'm sure, to people like Paul and people who are from elsewhere that we can't seem to be
get our poop in a group.
Yeah, be compliant. But I'm hoping we get there. And I did see something today that was very disheartening from the CDC that said that this winter, so late 20, early 21, I think, between flu season and the spike in COVID, that it was going to be the worst time in American public health in history. So, that tells me that we are probably not anywhere close to being over the worst part of it. And, again, for those of you that have evaluated your risk and you're doing your traveling, I think that's great. But we didn't want to be responsible for adding to that challenge as well.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, thanks for stopping in, and see you tomorrow, I guess, on Liz's live stream. We'll be back there as well. So, I mean, if anybody has any questions, or any more thoughts on any of that, but for us, I think we just decided that we're going to do day trips. And, oh yeah, Darian, I forgot you've got your live stream now too. I saw that as well. So we'll definitely be there. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Absolutely, Nick.
We miss Nick's traffic on the interstate.
Oh, how was traffic on the interstate? Oh, yeah. Thomas says he medically can't use masks. And I totally get that, Thomas. If you've got a reason you can't use them, that's fine. Traffic on the interstate, what was interesting was, it really, I would say, was lighter than it usually is. However,
but I think everybody had the same idea of just traveling domestically.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't like a ghost town.
Yeah.
It definitely was lighter than usual in some parts, and then some parts, like when we were in Nashville, it was the same as it always is. Here in Indy, it was the same as it always is. So, but it wasn't. It wasn't as slammed. Well, let's say going to the Outer Banks, we got there on Sunday, which is one of the turn days, and in the area we got to was okay, but then we tried to go on up to where the horses were that day, and it was as busy,
bumper to bumper.
as busy as it would be any time during any summer. But that's a beach trip, and so I think it just depends on where you're going. Bad weather while traveling. Yeah, we've got a few stories on those, Liz.
Yeah.
I saw that. Paul Tipton,
Yes,
should I
Paul.
visit for one day for boiled peanuts and Dairy Queen? Absolutely.
Yes, but you have to come during the summer for Dairy Queen so you can get the cotton candy dip cone.
Absolutely. And I know we talked about this, about you driving on our side of the road and then talking about driving an RV or caravan, as you call it. And I totally think you could do it, and I think you should.
Oh, yeah.
I think we would all help you.
Oh, yeah. You could totally do it. If
You
I
could
can do it, you can do
That's
it.
true. 'Cause now you didn't drive a caravan in the UK, but you did
Well,
drive.
no.
We've both driven over there.
Yeah.
So,
just think our roads are bigger.
yeah, our roads are much, much wider. Of course, our vehicles are typically
Yeah.
bigger than yours as well. But yeah, boiled peanuts, Dairy Queen. What else? What else do they not have over there that we have? I'm sure there's a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, they're talking about. I use neck gaiters, face scarves. Yeah. Do those get hot around your neck though, Nick? And Thomas is saying he gets panic attacks, which I totally understand if you're claustrophobic or anything like that. I get it. I definitely get it. Yeah, we've definitely got some bad weather travel stories. Liz, I'm assuming you've got some, or you wouldn't be having the live stream. So that'll be a lot of fun to talk about. So yeah, I mean, I guess if nobody else has any questions, we'll probably just go ahead and wrap it up. But
I'm sorry, it's not like the regular Whiskey Wednesday.
It's not. No, we're drinking smart water here.
I got sparkling ice.
Yeah, we're not. We're just not that exciting. Megan Morris, be very careful and have fun on your trip with your mom for sure. Nick, you and I will connect about Nashville. Finley's, y'all be safe. And hope you enjoy the rest of your trip. And then let's see. Paul said, I'm not worried about driving on the other side. I'll soon get over with oncoming traffic. That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, I did that a couple of times. Yeah. Nick said he has his fair share of cotton candy dip cones.
Yep.
Let's see. Actually, they don't get hot at all. Okay, interesting. Wine Wednesday here. There you go.
There you go.
All right. See you, Laura. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow night or Saturday night or something.
Yep. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for coming on. And Jamie, we'll see you later. And no worries, Megan. Have fun. Would love to hear about it when you get back.
Yep.
And we're gonna, whenever Walters are not doing Wednesdays, I think we'll pick up Wednesdays. We've got to look at the schedule and figure it all out, but we will definitely post it.
Yep.
But thank you all so much for joining us, and look forward to talking to everybody again soon.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.
See you.